Last week, we saw Matthew Lindy sneak away from Jess Rakowski and make it 3 for 3 in Contenders. Meanwhile, in Supercars, we thought Jakob Rafos was going to run away from the field and stamp his authority on the rest of the NASA Rallycross grid. However, we were entirely wrong. After a hardware failure resulted in him missing the start, he clawed his way back to the front, only to suffer another issue and retire from the race. Will he get redemption in Spain? We'll find out together tonight. The Spanish Grand Prix is next. Our venue for this evening is the virtual Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Opened in 1970, North American Simulated Auto Racing started visiting this circuit in 2021B. A nice 0.69 miles in length with 10 corners in total, 4 to the right and 6 to the left. We utilize the final sector of the Grand Prix circuit in reverse. The circuit is a nice mix of wide open asphalt from the Grand Prix track and tight street circuit-like confines for the dirt. We expect plenty of contact with the one-lane dirt sections, as our drivers will fight for every inch of real estate along with the Joker exit, as they will be speeding past the regular course drivers down to turn 1. In NASA Rallycross, our format is as follows. We are finishing open practice now, which leads us into a 3-lap single-car qualifying that splits the field equally into 5-lap heat races with 1 Joker lap. The top 2 transfer to the feature automatically. The winner gets 3 bonus points, and the runner-up gets 2. The rest of our drivers are sent to the semifinals, also 5 laps with 1 Joker. Top 2 transfer out of this as well, and the winner receives a bonus point. This sets the grid for our 10-lap feature race, where the points are awarded and trophies are handed out, and unique to NASA Rallycross, 2 Jokers are taken during the feature. The 30th season of the NASA Rallycross Challenge continues tonight live on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan, Sawyer in the production truck and 2022A Contenders champion Justin Robichaud next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz, as we welcome you to the 11th running of the Spanish Grand Prix. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problems, our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. NASA Rallycross Contenders, presented by Virtual Gaming Alliance. Don't be a real dork, be a virtual one. Shop now at virtual-alliance.square.site. Thank you, Dylan Thomas, for your support of NASA Rallycross Contenders. Cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCam. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/whiplashmedia. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And our coverage on ASN tonight, also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 71% off a 2-year plan with 3 months free, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed was produced by Alex Abetti. Justin Robichaud, we saw Matthew Lindy make it 3 for 3, but Rakowski did not make it easy in Contenders. Supercars, it was Rafos and Kieran both having issues. Evan got to sneak away. How are you, and what are your thoughts about tonight?
Oh, I'm fantastic. After last night in Lights, I'm very excited for tonight. Spain, a track notorious for bringing drama, not a lot of rooms to pass. Really, the one big opportunity, a hairpin or a joker. So this track's so tight, technical, very, very tricky to navigate. One little jump that sends you sideways. We're watching Darnell go over this right now. This one tricky to navigate in traffic, no less, as we dive into a kind of a double apex hairpin, Josh. And I'm very excited to see how these Contenders drivers and these Supercars make out, and then our Supercar drivers later on tonight.
Going to be super exciting, of course, as we will take a look at the Drivers' Championship entering the Spanish Grand Prix. Matthew Lindy on top of the table with 56 for KES Industries, 13 points ahead of Jess Rakowski for JC Simsport Jr. It's Slapex Racing Ford, Matty Morris and Matty Grove. Matty Morris, P3 in points. Great run from the man from Illinois. Matty Grove from Pennsylvania. Chris Wetz in 5th. Paige Morton, Darnell, Boyle, Sowers, and Dubois, the remaining top 10. I know we're missing, I believe, Sowers and Morton tonight as we take a look at the team's championship also. Coming into tonight's race, Slapex Racing Ford, powered by TWRS, on top of the table. KES Industries in second, but it's Lindy all by himself. JC Simsport Jr., Slapex Subaru, TWR Fiesta Siesta, Waterfleet Racing Development, underfunded, and Mika Esport to round out that. And the Manufacturers Championship in NASA Rallycross Contenders. I don't think it's tied. Our graphics say it's tied. That's interesting, with Lindy winning all 3 races. So according to this, we're tied up. I don't think it is, but I just work here. So We're going to get ready to roll into qualifying. 3 laps. Taking a look. Practice times 40.937 to a 41.234. Lindy versus Rakowski. And then it's a further about a 10.5 down to Josh Darnell, Ed Boyles, and Jake Robichaud rounding out the top 5. So, qualifying beginning, and expect these guys, Justin, we have 3 laps. Expect these guys to run the Joker on 2 of their laps and make 1 lap in the middle, kind of a cooldown lap. So we kind of get 2 runs here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a strategy that all the drivers should be utilizing tonight. It's a strategy that I've utilized basically from the moment I learned it. You do get quite a good little run, probably 3 or 4 tenths, Josh, off the Joker. If you make that little run, it does delete a lap like we mentioned, but very, very much worth it at a track like Barcelona. A 40-second lap time, Josh. That's fantastic for contenders. As Matthew Lindy in practice, we'll see if we can bring that again here in qualifying. I think that's going to be a tough one to match. A 40-second lap time is something we would expect to see in Supers, Josh.
So the first car on track, Jake Robichaud in car number 69. Down the hill, which is normally, like I said, the final sector of the Grand Prix track. I know we're paying attention to Lindy. Robichaud is the first car on track. The man from Canada in the 69 for Slapex Ford. Then we have Ed Boyles for Slapex Subaru, and then Matthew Lindy. So we'll just take a look here in the order of which they are on track. Matty Morris is leaving the pit lane. He will sneak in behind Boyles on track. And we talk about the street circuit-like nature of this dirt. There's really one groove, and if you're a centimeter off the groove, it's over. You're getting shoved out of the way. And then there's the wide open confines of the Grand Prix track. Final corner for Jake Robichaud to end his qualifying lap. I'm taking a look off monitor. 42.381. Grove crosses the line. I don't think it counted his lap in the 472. Boyles 42.671. Lindy 40.923. Fastest of all is the kid from California, Justin Robichaud.
Absolutely, and he almost matches his time from practice. So something I wanted to see if he could do right away. Matching your time in practice is something, in my opinion, that's master class. If you can take your practice time and bring it in and throw it in your quali when everything is out there. That's
what does Rakowski have for him? 40.964. It is half a tenth in it between Lindy and Rakowski. Let me tell you, this is going to be a part 2 from last week.
I think you're right, Josh. This is a fantastic little battle boiling right over here. 40.9 for both of these drivers. Absolutely electric times as Joshua Darnell comes in with a 41.1. Still just a couple tenths back, Josh.
Impressed to see Darnell's pace as well in that Ford Fiesta in the 0.29. He takes to the Joker to get to sacrifice that second lap and get the run off of the corner.
Matthew Morris,
he begins his third and final lap.
4th, Josh. 5th. Eric Dubois sitting in 4th with a 42 flat.
Impressive run so far. Lindy is out of the hairpin on the asphalt, back to the dirt for the final time. Is the points leader.
He's on good pace. He's on good pace here.
Through the dirt.
This is a heater, Josh.
Over the jump. You have to aim towards the wall, flick the car as you're jumping, hit the curbs nicely. Don't roll the car in the final couple of corners. And Lindy across the line, 40.747. Where's Rakowski? Rakowski now leaves the asphalt into the dirt for the final time. The closest competition to Matthew Lindy last week in Brands Hatch stole pole position away from the California kid. Final corner for the driver from Maryland. Locked up. Very messy on corner entry. It looked like off the corner. 41.1. It's going to be pole position.
My average pace, my delta's off a bit. Has to be off. That looked like that's going to be on my end. I think that's everyone.
That's going to be the end of quali as everybody else, I think, has finished their lap times. We will wait and see for someone to finish their qualifying run. Matty Grove crosses the line. Wets P4.
Wets to 4th, Josh.
Morris will cross the line in the 24. 42.0. He improves his time, not his position. And we wait for Olivier Rateau. That's going to invalidate his lap. He's way off in the sand in the 63. Matty Morris and Darnell have finished their laps, or their runs, I should say. And Tom Grady has squeaked into qualifying. I didn't expect him to appear.
And Josh, last night in the lights, we saw plenty of drivers come away from the back on mistakes and make a stamp here tonight. We'll see if Tom Grady can do something similar as Olivier Rateau having some issues here, Josh.
So once Grady gets on track, if he has time, we'll focus on him. Normally, full disclosure, we would advance it, but I don't want to do it to Tom Grady as he just joined the session. Technically, he has 3 minutes to lay down his qualifying run. So tentatively right now, you can't call it pole position because of Grady's run that hasn't happened yet. Lindy, Rakowski, Darnell, the top 3. So that'll be Lindy, Darnell, Dubois, Robichaud, Grove. And of course, if Grady doesn't run a lap, that will be the tentative grid for heat number 1. Rakowski, Wetz, Morris, Boyles, and Rateau for heat 2 tentatively. As I'm just waiting for Tom Grady to jump on track here, Justin Robichaud.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on there as well. I don't know if he'll go out there. That's it's late to come in, but you never know. If he sees that button, he might just mash it and jump on the track and go out. I'm also watching the exact same thing. Looks like a couple drivers still out there enjoying a little bit of practice, and Matthew Morris and Joshua Darnell, they're on that 5 now, so taking advantage of that extra time here. And we'll see if Tom Grady is not looking good. Maybe he's not quite fully in yet. Him registered.
So while we wait and see if Grady is going to run a lap, we've got a couple of minutes to go over some programming notes here on the Automotive Sports Network. As round 6 of the OSRL GT Series at Road Atlanta in Georgia, one of the best tracks in my opinion for all of sports cars. That'll be Thursday, April 11th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll have Bryan, Sawyer in the production truck, Cody Erdmann alongside yourself, Justin Robichaud. You guys have done a killer job over the last couple of weeks there. NASA Rallycross lights. As embarrassingly, my script is not updated. I think we are in Atlanta at Atlanta Short next week. So that'll be next week, the 14th of April, Victor Valley, James Watson, and I think Jared Lott, maybe Cody Erdmann. There's been some scheduling issues there on the light side, or maybe even yourself, Justin Robichaud. I don't even know anymore.
Hey, who knows?
And our next round for the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, also in Atlanta, technically for the Georgia Grand Prix at Atlanta Short. That'll be April 15th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, starting with Contenders, going up to Supercars. It'll be Bryan Sawyer in the production truck, Justin Robichaud alongside me. My name is Josh Mertz. So, minute and a half left. I don't think Grady has run a lap, but I'm still not going to click that advance button just to avoid people getting a little salty at us. So let's ride on board Darnell. Before. Actually, pick a car, Bryan. Let's ride on board and let's give these guys a ride. Yeah. And Justin, no pressure, on the spot. Take us around this track.
He'll take us down. He's diving into turn 1 at the moment, and he goes a little bit wide, pulls it back in. This is a section here you want to be very tight, and a tricky section no less. You get the car up on its right side, the right side's up in the air, you slam them down and take a hard left, and you're a bit of a sweep. You're almost in a flowy Scandinavian flick mode, getting down into this hairpin, get the car rotated almost way too much, but also flowy at the same time. You don't want to break traction a whole lot there. And this flowing right-hander. We've seen a lot of moves attempted here tonight. Some drivers going wide, leaving the door open on the inside. Expect a ton of that, the same here as well. And this final corner tricky. Some of these short wheelbase cars, Josh, the Volkswagen Beetle and the Ford particularly, particularly the Beetle with its higher center of gravity, they like to try and roll there. It's been a trick and almost a challenge for a lot of the drivers to fix that in the setups. So we'll keep an eye on that tonight in those Volkswagens as Darnell hits
Grady
that wall
is on track. But he's not going to have time.
I don't think so. There's
time ticks down. Elapsed time, according to my ticker, is 0-0. That's going to be the end of qualifying. At least we gave Tom Grady a little bit of a chance. And Bryan Sawyer exclaims no in our ears. So we begin to grid for heat number 1 to begin the process to see who will join a slew of drivers to win in NASA Rallycross Contenders in Spain. Caleb Paul in 2014A, Zach Johnson 2017A, Joey Bailey 2019B, Cody Crosgrove in 22A and 23C, Victor Aldrich 22B, and Benjamin Gay in 23B. Our grid: Lindy, Darnell, Dubois, Robichaud, Grove, and Tom Grady. Getting ready for our first heat race. Turn 1, very tricky here in Barcelona. You start on the asphalt, you run down to turn 9 of the Grand Prix track, and we've seen a lot of calamity as the inside guy sometimes locks up, maybe runs it wide. We'll have to wait and see. Heat 1 in Spain. Green flag off the line. First phase, it was Darnell. pulled Lindy down to the first corner, side by side. Will Darnell get the run off the corner? He does. Does he clear Lindy, the points leader? He does, in the 0.29 to the 3. Then it's Robichaud and Grove. Grady into the side of, into Matty Grove. In the 472, shoves him out wide. Dubois on the wall in the back of the field. Lindy takes the spot back from Darnell, as it looks like Darnell ran it way wide in turn 1. No joker on the first lap of the race here in Barcelona. You will get a penalty to begin the first lap. It's Matthew Lindy ahead of Darnell, Robichaud, Grady, Grove, and Dubois.
And this one very much aligned at the moment as Matty Grove makes a shot into turn 1 on Tom Grady. Wants to give that move back to him that was given to him on the first lap.
Robichaud into the wall in the 69. He's going to cut the tires. I don't know if that's going to be a slowdown. He does have a black flag.
He's going to have to take it right here. He jumps off the line and hits the brakes. This is a brutal one. He just clears it now, Josh. And he's back on the track. Manages to keep his position.
Josh Darnell is hanging with Matthew Lindy, and we talk about it every week. I wouldn't follow him. I would joker as soon as you can. Does he know at the end of the first lap? It's a car length, maybe make it half. We ride on board Darnell as Matthew Lindy leads ahead of Robichaud, Grady, Grove, and Dubois. Dubois jokers in the 000 in that Subaru. And back up front, still riding on board the Ford Fiesta of Josh Darnell. I am impressed with the pace that Darnell has shown. I'm impressed with the pace that Rakowski's shown, and we've talked about it off air and maybe even on air, but the next couple seasons in NASA is going to be pretty exciting watching the farm system develop. And Darnell, this is his second season, and the pace that he has shown, the growth that he's shown, immense. Justin Robichaud.
Hey, yeah, we're going to dive back to this little battle here as Matthew Grove still showing a little bit of attrition from that move that happened to Tom Grady on the first lap.
Jokering is Darnell.
A little bit of a nudge. Darnell jumps off, but so does Grove. Actually gets out of the way here. I think this might be the right move.
As well.
Yeah, that's the right move for Grove especially. I think there was a little bit too much aggression. He was trying to make some dives in at Tom, and maybe that's
into the walls. Lindy, sorry to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good.
I thought he was going to loop it.
He recovered.
He's all good.
He recovered. He's good. He keeps that lead, that healthy lead as Grove. Robichaud gets a little bit of a trouble here on the hard left hander. He gets past
into
by
the
Tom Grady.
Into the tires goes your pops.
And he's around
in the 69.
And he's stuck, and he actually almost holds up his teammate Dubois in the process. He tries to get that car out of there, but he does now. That's a hard pill to swallow. That's a really, really tough, very tricky part of the track. Very hard to nail it perfectly every single time, Josh.
2 laps to go for Matthew Lindy, 42.341. That was actually fastest lap was Darnell. I was just going back to take a look. Darnell is purple, 41.718. Grady up to third, but I don't think he has jokered yet. He has. He has gotten by Grove in the 472, but Grove is there.
Maintains that position. Grove gives a bit of a nudge. Oh boy, and Grove really wants to make this happen on the track, and I think he kind of wants it to happen with some contact at this point, but not the right move there. Gets hit a little bit too far behind and rotates more of himself than anything, and now he's playing catch up yet again, Josh, as we
Lindy jokers exiting in the 3.
That's the white.
Darnell doesn't get the lead, white flag, and we're looking Matty Grove trying to return the favor to Tom Grady, especially the former arena cross rider, knows how to do some block passes, some check passes. Hopefully the kiddos, Riley and Lane, enjoying the race with their pops, trying to get back to the front of the field. Darnell is still all over the rear wing of Lindy in the 3. I can't say how impressed I am with Darnell. The gap has lengthened just a pinch from the 3 to the 0.29.
Both of these drivers so strong in that hairpin, and I think that's where they are making up all of this pace, Josh. They're strong there as we begin to round the final couple corners here. This battle's still going on.
Final couple of corners. Lindy, pole position here in Barcelona, transferring as Darnell as best of the rest. Currently is Grady. Will Grove send it into the final corner? Too far back. It's going to be Grady on pole position for the semifinal. Grove, Dubois, and Robichaud, the remaining running order.
And a very intense little battle there. That top 2, they didn't even check out. Matthew Lindy didn't have a chance at all to get away with this victory. Joshua Darnell there holding him very honest, making it very difficult for that win.
Our grid for Heat number 2, Jess Rakowski, Chris Wetz, Matty Morris, Ed Boyles, and Olivier Rateau. So
Morris and Boyles. Oh.
This track is only 2 cars wide for the grid, so whoever wins this will be gridded where Wetz is in the feature race. Getting ready for the second heat race in Barcelona. Green flag off the line. Wetz, a lot of wheel spin in the Ford Fiesta. Down to the first corner. Morris into Wetz, into Boyles. Hit the left rear Rakowski. It sent him wide. Around his Boyles off the front bumper of Olivier Rateau, who was just trying to mind his own business. And into the dirt for the first time. Rakowski way deep in the 999. Still holds the lead over Matty Morris in the 24. I'm not sure if that was netcode or actually contact there, Justin Robichaud, between Morris and Rakowski.
I'm actually going to go back and look at that. Take a look at this start here one more time. It didn't look like a bunch of netcode. It just looked like, it really looked like Matty Morris decided to not go where Jess was going, almost a bit spooked by her braking pattern. And then Ed Boyles got caught up in that mishap, and on rejoin just got in the way with Olivier Rateau and gets spun pretty hard.
So taking a look, Rakowski, Morris, Wetz, Rateau, Boyles. That running order through the first couple of corners, the first lap here in Barcelona. Now we have the joker allowed. Rakowski does not joker, Morris does not joker, Wetz does not. I expect Wetz a little upset with the contact between him and Morris. Morris very wheel spin off the final corner, and Brian Sawyer was saying the Ford might outpace the Subaru here. I have to agree with the shorter wheelbase. It's easier to get these cars to rotate. They both clobber the curbs as Wetz behind right. Morris.
They both have a small issue getting that car rotated, but both pretty even here. Wetz still trying to make a charge on Morris, but he's running out of time.
We're coming to 3 laps to go already in heat number 2.
And no jokers yet.
Will Rakowski joker? She does. In the 999. Morris does. Wetz does not. The man from Texas does not take the joker. He passes Morris on the rotation. Boyles does not joker. And I'm taking a look off monitor. Will Olivier Rateau joker? He does not. Wetz fastest. 43.346 for the man from Texas. We talk about it every single race. He has participated in at least one in every season, all 30 of them of the NASA Rallycross Challenge. He's come close to the championship several times, way back in 2012B and 2014A as well. No joker for the 71. I don't think he's going to have the delta over Morris there, Justin, though.
No, I don't think so. And he really needs to get it done this lap, or he's going to risk losing the extra time on the run. Olivier Rateau had his joker done a little bit earlier, so other than him, it's just Boyles. So he doesn't take it now. This is not a good decision, Josh. He's shaving wonderful, unless he plans on making a bit of a block here and trying to help out Boyles, but that doesn't make much sense, as Boyles doesn't opt for the joker either, Josh. So very interesting.
Wetz runs it wide, clobbers the curb, runs it wide again. Such a rhythm track. If you mess up one corner, the entire lap is compromised, especially through the dirt. Tire barriers, incredibly intimidating, and those curbs. I don't think we have curbs like this on any other track off the top of my head. So you need to hit them, but it's also terrifying if you hit them wrong. Rakowski still leads. We're going to take the white flag. I think Wetz didn't get a slowdown, but he's got no delta. He is waiting for the last lap, maybe to hold up Morris.
Yeah, he's almost holding him up.
And he's done this before. This is going to be an old man tangent. He did this to me in 2017A. Did not joker until the last lap of the race to back me up into traffic. And he's expecting Morris maybe to make a mistake in the 24. Rakowski out and away from this field. And you say very possibly. I would say that's a Wetz strategy tactic. Like I said, he did it so many years ago to me. Runs it wide through the dirt again. Staying away from the guardrail is interesting. He's going to have to joker.
So clean and consistent, though.
Checkered flag.
Really making me eat his words here. As,
Rakowski wins. Wetz will joker. Morris will transfer, so it will be Wetz. Best of the rest in the 71, followed by Boyles and Rateau.
That one was quite interesting. The strategies at this track, even without the ability to joker on the first lap, is still very interesting. Like all the tracks where you get a good runoff on the joker, it's very. I'm always so curious to see where drivers choose and pick to take their jokers and how it affects them in the race. And Wetz just about a confidence there to try and hold up for a mistake.
Grid for the semifinal. Tom Grady, Chris Wetz, Matty Grove, Ed Boyles, Eric Dubois, Olivier Rateau, and Jake Robichaud. Another 5 laps. 1 joker. The top 2 will transfer to be the 5th and 6th seeds tonight here in Barcelona.
This one's going to be good. Chris Wett sitting in second place. He's going to have that outside spot. In my opinion, that's a fantastic spot. If you have a good driver that you are confident running the inside with, give them a little bit of room.
I'm only concerned with the start from the 71. Had some massive wheel spin in the heat race. Green flag. He does it again, but Grady did it worse. 3 wide in the first corner. Boyles look to the outside. Grady into the inside. Nearly contact. They do touch. It was net code. We're side by side. Here comes Boyles. 3 wide. Wetz backs out of it. Grady leads ahead of Boyles, ahead of Wetz. Around his Grove off the front bumper of Olivier Rateau, but he saves it. Into the wall is Wetz. Into Boyles. This is allowing Grady to pull away. It is a brawl for the transfer. We haven't even started the first lap. Robichaud to the inside of Wetz in the 71. The 69 can't make anything happen. Beginning the first lap, it's Grady, Boyles, Wetz, Robichaud, Grove, Dubois, and Olivier Rateau. And Tom Grady, who missed qualifying, out and away from the rest of the field.
It's been this Josh.
One car wide. It was Robichaud.
He gives that spot back to
tires. Dubois does as well in front of Olivier Rateau. I caught it on feed there.
Manages to get around though.
Dubois struggling.
You're good. He is struggling, and Rateau managed to get around there, and with very minor or very minimal contact with Dubois. Jake Robichaud and Matty Grove are just giving it to each other as teammates here in turn. Oh, wow, Jake Robichaud makes the pass on the outside over the jump in the final couple of corners here. Dives off into the Joker as well. I think they just want to get out of each other's way at this point.
So Grady leads, did not take the Joker. Boyles obviously has not jokered. Wetz, no Joker. Grove, the first car to Joker is Jake Robichaud, then Olivier Rateau, and Dubois has as well. Boyles made a mistake in the dirt. Wetz looks to the inside. He looked to the outside, runs it a little bit wide in the 71, reroute on board. The underfunded Motorsports Ford into the dirt.
Boyles been running that hairpin a little bit wide tonight, all throughout, even in practice. I think Wetz knows that, so he's a bit conservative on the exit there. Didn't want to make anything, any rash decisions, any bold moves. As
Boyles jokers.
Joker, and just the C's part for Wetz.
Grady holds the lead, 42.794, fastest of all so far. Then it's Wetz in the 71. Grove. Boyles locks up the left front, smoked it nearly into his teammate in the 472. Robichaud, Rateau, and Dubois. As these 3 Slapex cars, we talk about the 845 Supercars, or now, sorry, Saints and Sinners Racing and Lights, driving like it's for the World Championship. Oh! And Robichaud dives in on Boyles like it's for a World Championship and makes a mistake in the 69. But Slapex and those Saints and Sinners boys always race, no matter if it's for 4th or 1st or 15th. Grady Jokers in the 535.
Yeah, and I love racing like that. I'm the same way, Josh. You get out there and you're behind the wheel, and the blood starts pumping. And the competitiveness just flows through you, and it's hard not to. Even when you're out there practicing or doing little hot laps, it's tough not to push as hard as you can, or try and find your limit anyway. As Tom Grady holding a commanding lead, but this whole track really at this point they're bunched a little bit, small gaps between them all, about half a second each. But great little train here, and it's just mistakes and passes through passes on the track, and some Joker strategy here. As looks like Chris Wetz and Matty Grove are our 2 drivers who. Not joking yet, Josh.
I'll tell you what, I don't know if there's going to be team orders. I suspect not between Grove and Boyles, but Wetz is not jokered. We take the white flag for Grady in the 535. In true NASA Rallycross fashion, for the last 12 years, Chris Wetz is going to joker on the last lap of the semifinal. Grady wide in turn 1.
But it's not enough for Chris. That's he's still healthy lead, enough for a little bit of a mistake there, but Wetz hungry. Another one like that, and there's a door that starts to open here.
Wetz is not sliding the car into the final asphalt hairpin there. It's interesting. Everybody else is sliding. He is road racing it and not having some wheel spin. Grove way wide in the 472. The man from Pennsylvania. And he might be on the outside looking in yet again. Tom Grady, final couple of corners. The man who missed qualifying will be the 5th seed this evening in Barcelona. Grove's got a joker, so does Wetz. This is going to be a battle to the line. At the line, it's Wetz! He takes the transfer ahead of Ed Boyles. Grove, and it looked like it was Grove, Robichaud.
Oh, boy.
Dubois.
I was checking to make sure Boyles even made it across the gantry, and he did.
Wow. You talk about close. That is all she wrote. A second. Well, at least the timing said it was a second for the transfer here in Barcelona. So the grid is set For the Spanish Grand Prix for Contenders, we're going to step aside and take you side by side here on ASN.
So interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in the terminal. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap. Clog at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. In the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up Eddie to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Ronnie's going to hold his spot. We welcome you back to round 167 of the championship overall and round 4 of the 19th season. That threw you guys off of NASA Rallycross Contenders here in Spain with Bryan, Sawyer in the production truck, and 2022A champion Justin Robichaud next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras for tonight's broadcast brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams, and we'll get to that in a minute. NASA Rallycross Contenders presented by Virtual Gaming Alliance. Don't be a real dork, be a virtual one. Shop now at virtual-alliance.square.site. Thank you, Dylan Thomas, for your support as presenting sponsor of NASA Rallycross Contenders. And like I mentioned, cameras provided by Whiplash Sim Cams, Facebook.com/Whiplash Media. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And coverage on ASN tonight also brought to you by NordVPN. For 71% off a 2-year plan with 3 months free, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed, produced by Alex Abedi. Just another note, if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified of all of our live streams Sunday, Monday, and Thursdays, along with our short-form content, courtesy of Jess Rakowski. If you'd like to race in NASA, we are going to have something for everyone at some point in 2024. All the info is at nasasimracing.com. Justin Robichaud, we have set the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix, and I want to ask who is going to join Caleb Paul, Zach Johnson, Joey Bailey, Cody Crosgrove, Victor Aldrich, and Benjamin Gay tonight as a winner in Spain.
Ooh, I do think it's cliche, but Matthew Lindy has a great shot. He's practicing his starts at the moment, which is just a fantastic sight to see. He wants to get that inside hole shot. We were mentioning it behind the scenes there during the ad break. That hole shot so important here. And I think he has a great chance of making it happen. Jess Rakowski, very strong here tonight as well. So we'll see if she can bring it to him. I think if somebody's going to rattle Lindy at least a little bit, Jess can probably jump in there and maybe make it happen. But so excited to see. Joshua Darnell has been fantastic here. So smooth and great in the hairpin all night long. I've been watching his laps. So another contender in here. Anything can happen here in Spain, Josh.
As we take a look through warm-up, 41.029 fastest lap for Lindy, 41.477 for Jess Rakowski, Darnell 41.6, Maddie Morris 42.7. And super excited to publicly announce the addition of NASA Rallycross Futures to NASA Sim Racing. Just like we did with Supercars and Contenders last season, we split the Supercar division into 2 classes based on skill level / dirt road iRating. We're doing the same for NASA Rallycross Lights, as I think without the issues that we had last night, we were probably going to pull 25 cars, which is, I don't even have the words for that. And we've pulled that many cars for the last couple weeks. So the NASA leadership team decided to split starting in 2024B. And well, you're wondering, what is NASA Rallycross Futures? Well, it's going to run the BO Light. It's going to run fixed setups, fixed iRacing setups. So anyone new to the service, anyone new to dirt road on iRacing, you'll have a spot to race, and you won't get, I say this with the most love, you won't get run over by the aliens that have apparently decided to drop down to NASA Rallycross Lights and race. We've got about 2 minutes, Justin Robichaud, before we begin this gridding process. So I just want to hear your thoughts on, we started with Lights last year, didn't expect much, and here we are running 2 classes for it starting in July.
Oh, we ran that very first season. What was it, 4 rounds, Josh? And
yes.
It immediately huge interest. And it wasn't overly surprising that we had, what was it, 30 cars or something, or pretty close to it registered.
Mid-20s.
Mind-blowing. Just mind-blowing.
We have, I think, low 30s registered. We've had pretty consistent 24, 25 entries to run.
To be expected, yeah. But to see that many signups was so phenomenal. And we almost thought about the split immediately. It was something we definitely thought of very quickly, and we're not going to say a long time coming because this is a pretty fresh series, but yeah, this is going to be great. This is going to be so great for the future of that series in particular, but also hopefully the future of Rallycross, because like you said, that division there, that fixed setup, Beetle Light, great little place for you to sit in and jump in with our drivers here, learn a thing or two, move up the ranks, and come in and try this supercar eventually.
Like we said, if you are interested, if you're new, nasasimracing.com. We'll have NASA Rallycross Futures on Friday. There will be no live broadcast, but I'll publicly say, I think the plan is to do an old school style broadcast by myself on Saturday. I'm going to record it, and we might air it between these 2 races on Monday nights. But of course, we have until July to figure that one out. So that'll be Fridays, open for everyone. No entry fee. Lights will become a paid series. Open setup for NASA Rallycross Lights. I know Bryan Sawyer's super happy. Kieran Lifflander's super happy. tells me in my ear that it would never happen. I am on record on an ASN interview in Indianapolis saying that it would never happen last season. I guess I have to eat my own words. So we'll have lights on Sundays and then Contenders and Supercars on Monday nights. So I just want to say publicly thank you to all that have made this possible. And from a kid who decided to run 6 cars in July of 2012 to now running 4 leagues, it is wild to see. The grid for the Spanish Grand Prix for NASA Rallycross Contenders looks like this. On pole position, Matthew Lindy, Jess Rakowski in the outside pole, Josh Darnell, Matty Morris, Tom Grady, and Chris Wetz making our 6 cars here tonight. And remember, we talk about it all the time, but if you're new, the top 5 of NASA Rallycross Contenders will transfer up to the Supercar race. So that means one of these guys will go home and not challenge Kieran Lifflander, Evan McFarland, Francois Martel, Robbie Kirtley, and Jakob Rafos later on. It's hard to bet against Matthew Lindy trying to make it 4 race wins in a row, but Jess Rakowski has some pace as well. Thanks for joining us on ASN as we get ready in Barcelona. We go green in Spain, off the line. Darnell, a great start in the first phase. Couldn't pull it down to the first corner. Rakowski runs it wide. Contact with Grady over nearly as Darnell in the 029. Both of them over the curb. It was Morris, and it was Rakowski. Lindy leads. Darnell in the back of the field. Rakowski looks to the inside of Lindy. Are they going to be side by side over the jump? She got bite off the dirt. Looks to the inside. Thought better of it. Over the jump to begin the first lap. Like I mentioned, no jokers in the first lap here in Barcelona. Lindy runs it wide. Rakowski sneaks to the inside. We're side by side beginning the first lap. It's Morris. It's Wetz. It's Darnell and Grady. Rakowski tries. Lindy on the outside. Side by side. Off camber turn 1 for the Grand Prix track. And Rakowski surges to the lead. It's a car length between them. Into the dirt for the first time. So tricky to get this right. And Matty Morris is a car length between them. Or sorry, from Lindy. Out of the dirt. Into the asphalt hairpin. Lindy gets a nudge from Morris there in the 24. Rakowski begins to pull away. It is roughly, according to timing, half a second between Rakowski and Lindy. But we saw this last week with Lindy out or Rakowski out front. You just got to stay out of your own head. Jess Rakowski, will she joke on the first lap? She does. Lindy does not. Morris does. Darnell does not. Wetz does not. Grady does not. To the lead. Lindy at the end of lap 1.
And probably a good decision from Joshua Darnell to stay out of the track because he's going to hold up this here.
Down to the first corner. Sorry to cut you off, Justin. I know I don't have to apologize. We're battling side by side. And Darnell holds the spot.
Jess doesn't like this at all. Josh Darnell is certainly a driver with pace, but a little bit of an issue with Tom Grady in the first corner. Jess runs wide and it's the corner.
Nudges Darnell, and Darnell slides. She's going to let him have it. That's going to end the race. That's over for her. One mistake. Now she's in the brawl of the field.
Loses another spot to Tom. That was not a spot to really slow up.
Darnell into the fence, in the 029, into the tires, across the track, in front of Grady, nearly hits him. Jokering is Wetz. Jokering is Grady. Jokering is Rakowski. Jokering is Morris. Lindy loves this. The entire field is combusted behind him.
Darnell has not had a hold of his Fiesta since the first corner when he almost got spun. I think he got the tires maybe a little bit cooked when he started to get back on. And to me, I don't think he's ever gotten them cooled down yet.
Grady into the wall. In the 535, Rakowski takes the spot.
This is spicy. Jess gets right in there. Looks like she's going to go a little bit deep. Has to pull the e-brake to keep it in there, Josh. As Josh Darnell just narrowly holding on. Still needs to take his joker, so does Matthew Lindy, but Matthew Lindy got to for his, actually. Yeah, Josh Darnell, does he take his? I think he needs to just settle down a little bit and cool these tires off.
First bit of strategy for Lindy, the race leader. Wetz will complete his strategy in the 71. Very early for the man from Texas to do so. Grady, Morris, they do not joker. Wetz looks to the inside on Matty Morris in the 24, making a pass. We saw Magnus Ogenhaugen, Alex Abetti crash hard here last season. Down that straightaway. Wetz looks to the inside on Morris from Illinois, takes the spot.
But
Morris into the fence in the 24.
Morris rams the wall. Ouch.
Those tire barriers that is one of the scariest. Grady into the wall in front of Wetz in the 71.
He just backs it up and puts Wetz right off the track. Oh, just a bad decision there. Oh my goodness. That part of the track just, we talk about it being tricky, but it can absolutely go from tricky to a parking lot in an app.
So Darnell first joker out of the way. Rakowski strategy's done. Darnell is going to take the second spot back for the moment, but he has a joker left.
He does.
So despite all of this calamity, all this calamity, I think Rakowski might hold the second spot, but unfortunately, the battle for the win is going to be over due to the calamity in the hairpin there. Looking driver's right. Will Darnell run it wide? Rakowski pokes her nose in on the inside on the 999. We're side by side on the asphalt. Back to the dirt. Clobber the curb to get the car to rotate. Can she make the pass on the outside? Darnell on the inside. It's Ford versus Subaru. Darnell closes the door.
And she gives a bit of a nudge on the way through, like a good hard knock on the bumper. Wants to get
Darnell
it back,
jokers.
but Darnell just dives off. Probably a great decision there. I wouldn't want to be battling with Jess because she was just about to start to rattle this cage big time.
So, let's get a running order reset as we took cross flags about half a lap ago, halfway home in Barcelona. Matthew Lindy, Jess Rakowski, Josh Darnell, Tom Grady, Matty Morris, and Chris Wetz. Wetz's strategy is done. Morris is done. Grady is done. Darnell, Rakowski. The only one left is Matthew Lindy. He's got 8.3 seconds. Darnell had a little bit of an issue there in the hairpin.
Yeah, it's still not quite there. Jess Rakowski has quite a bit of ground to make up. It's still possible. If
Lindy
she puts her head
now.
down, there we go.
Exiting.
Yeah, big time. So there we go. So we're going to have to happen on the track now.
Let's call it 7 seconds from Lindy to Rakowski.
Wow.
We take 4 to go.
Yeah, like
4
7
laps
seconds.
to go.
Call it. That's a pretty healthy gap. So Jess literally hoping on a mistake from Lindy at the moment. Not likely with everybody just checked out running their own race, Josh.
We talk about every single week, and I hate bringing it up, the beating the dead horse of contenders' mistakes, but you make a move that early when you don't necessarily have to, and it buries you in traffic, and it results in a potential battle for the win for the second week in a row, neutralized between Lindy and Rakowski. And Wetz in the 71 having an issue, pulls off the track in the 71.
Yeah, yet again. So he was right before entering the Joker or starting the final couple corners, he was around and smacked the wall. So just fighting some issues, parks the car for the rest of the night. A very familiar scenario for me as well. This track very not kind to me.
I remember that race in the Subaru a couple seasons ago, and you were doing so well, spun in the dirt hairpin, and had an issue there. We take 3 laps to go for Matthew Lindy. We're coming to 2 laps to go for Matthew Lindy. And he's trying to replicate again what Cody Crosgrove did last season. Crosgrove won the first 6 races on the bounce in 2023C. He had a duel with Cody Winicky for that entire season. So Lindy trying to rack up the records there. 2 laps to go from the kid from California. Rakowski from Maryland in second. Darnell from Maryland as well in the 029. And a couple of the people in chat cheering on the Maryland drivers. We got them in second and third, but the kid from California out front, Justin Robichaud.
Yeah, out front by a commanding lead, no doubt. It's down to 6 seconds now, so Jess really did reel him in a little bit there in the last few laps, but time has essentially run out for the other driver from Maryland. And who's that around? That's
Grady.
Grady
Spins in the dirt. He's going to come out battling Morris now.
And he gets tight.
White flag for Lindy.
That's not a great
Morris
spot
takes
to
the
be.
spot.
That turn, you have to be very wide. Approaching it on the inside like that, I was holding my breath for Tom as he was trying to get in there. Very tough spot. You're coming into dirt. Braking there can be very difficult.
Lindy through the dirt, the first section of dirt for the final time. Down to the turn 6 hairpin. Back up the Grand Prix track in the proper direction for just a pinch. And into the dirt to the inside. Trying to make it 4 race wins in a row from the beginning of the season. Over the jump for the final time, the kid from California. KES Industries been on a roll in Supercars and Contenders, and Lindy will continue this trend. He wins in Barcelona ahead of Jess Rakowski in the 999. What could have been, once again, for the driver from Maryland. And Josh Darnell, after getting spun on the first corner, comes home in third on the podium as best of the rest. Tentatively, Matty Morris in the 24 after a brawl with Tom Grady in the 535, and the one car to not finish and to not transfer into the supercar race will be Chris Wetz in the 71.
As Tom Grady just sends it around the final corner. May not be happy with the race, but it's a transfer nonetheless, so he's going to get another shot here tonight. As that was a pretty okay race. Kind of fizzled out near the end there, Josh, but nonetheless, some great battles. Kind of finished about how we expected it to at the after it all shook down.
As we await our podium finishers to join in the media pen, we just want to get quick confirmation. I know it just popped up there. they just finished the race rather, but Matthew Lindy, 7.7 seconds ahead of Jess Rakowski, Josh Darnell, Matty Morris, Tom Grady, and Chris Wetz. And just a reminder, the drivers that did not transfer into the Spanish Grand Prix, Ed Boyles will be classified 7th, 8th, Jake Robichaud, 9th, Matty Grove, 10th, Eric Dubois, and 11th will be Olivier Rateau. So I'm not entirely sure where Josh Darnell is, so we'll go over points real quick while we wait for Darnell to pop up. So the Drivers' Championship, I'm going to assume without seeing this graphic, is going to be Matthew Lindy at the top of the table. Looks like it's 84. 66, sorry, my internal feed's a little blurry there. 66, Rakowski. 57, Morris. Morris still holds third. Grove, Darnell rounding out the top 5. Darnell jumps up a couple spots. Down is Wetz, down is Morton. They were not here this evening. So I'm not entirely sure where Josh Darnell is, so we will bring in our second place finisher. Yep, Darnell's there. So
there he is.
We're going to bring in Josh Darnell, our third place man this evening. Don't forget to unmute on Discord, Justin Robichaud, but he's all yours.
All right. You got us, Josh? You got me?
Yeah, I have you.
Hey, Josh. So, wow. Walk me through the start of your feature, because you obviously you placed third. I think all things considered, that was fantastic, but a little bit of a mishap with Tom Grady at the start. You must have been a little scared there.
For sure. I was just happy that the car didn't spin all the way around. I was happy that it spun me at least in the right direction. But after the contact of that and the contact with Jess at like the hairpin right out of the dirt coming onto the asphalt, I just got scared there too. Super cool of her to be able to come back and bring P2 in. That's an awesome race by her. But definitely some scary moments out there.
Absolutely. And who'd you like to thank? We're going to send you this into this next race here. We'll get you going quick.
My mom and dad are watching, so hi, mom and dad. And that's it. And just my family. Thank you, guys.
Hey, that's fantastic. Thanks, Josh, and great result. We'll see you again in the next race. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
You too.
Our second place finisher, Jess Rakowski, Justin Robichaud, all yours.
Yes, you had a great start. Came up on the outside, but overall, in my opinion, you had a fantastic race. A little bit of an issue in there in the middle that put you far behind, and that kind of may have had you sweating a bit. But talk me through that, because P2, honestly, at this track, fantastic.
Thanks. See, at the start, I thought that I got enough grip to be able to close down on the first corner and have the lead, but Matt just had a really good start, so wasn't able to do that. And then I don't know, just had kind of a bit of a brain fart and jokered way too early and way too close to other cars, so it kind of messed up the rest of my race. But I'm happy I'm transferring at least.
Hey, it worked out in the end. Sometimes that quick joker out, get out of people's way and let them fight and live another day is the strategy. So props to you. Great P2. Who do you like to thank tonight, just before we unleash you with the supercars?
I'd like to thank my family and friends. I'd like to thank you guys. You guys are good to work with. I've enjoyed my time helping out at ASN. So it's always a you know what? I forget what I was gonna say, so we'll just end there.
words are hard sometimes, Jess.
Words are hard.
We'll let you go focus on that next one. Another brawl at Spain.
All right.
Trying to replicate the records that Cody Crosgrove has set in this championship, it's Matthew Lindy. 4 wins on the bounce so far this year. Justin Robichaud, all yours.
You're locked in. I have no questions other than talk me through it, because you had a great start. You seemed like you were having good starts all night long. We saw you practice them as well. So great result, and talk me through it.
Yeah, no, I kind of disagree with that a little. My start in that heat race, I was not happy with it. So I practiced that over and over and over again in warm-ups, and we got a good one in the main. But sometimes it's not just about starts, it's about how you go through the whole race. You just got to be smooth and careful. Make sure you hit your marks and don't make mistakes, because this track can definitely bite you out, because the way to be fast is to be close to everything, be close to the turtle, be close to the wall, be close to basically everything. And one little mistake and it's over.
Absolutely, it is. So who'd you like to thank here, Matthew, before we send you off in that next one?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the Lord up above. He's putting me in this great position. I'd like to thank my team. Evan, he's been helping me out a lot. He's one of the only reasons why I have these 4 wins in a row. So yeah, it's been a real pleasure working with KES and all of them, all of our sponsors out there, and thank you to you guys for putting this on.
Oh, fantastic. And the work is absolutely showing out on the track, Lindy. And we are so excited to see you rock it in that next super session and bring it to him.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
So we're going to get a quick look at the teams championship and the manufacturers championship before we close. As Lindy, like I said, 4 wins in a row, leads the Drivers' Championship. Slapex Racing Ford, 127. KES, 112. JC Simsport Jr., 100. Slapex Subaru, TWR, underfunded. Waterfleet Racing Development, and Mika Esport rounding out the team's championship. And in the Manufacturers' Championship, Subaru ahead. Those... Brian Sawyer's laughing internally. I can guarantee you the order's probably Subaru, Ford, Volkswagen, but I can't tell you the points.
As it always
Paige
is.
Paige Morton is the only Volkswagen in contenders. Then there's Chris Wetz and Darnell and Ford's off the top of my head. The rest are Subaru. So let's go Subaru, Ford, Volkswagen for the Manufacturers Championship. That concludes the contenders portion of our show. On the other side of the break, the NASA Rallycross Supercars Spanish Grand Prix. Stick around.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds
Side by
it.
side between these two in the turn one, this is going to get spicy.
turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap. Clog is the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Ragster acing the entry to turn one, up heading to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Rally's going to hold his spot. We welcome you back to beautiful Barcelona, Spain for round 4 of the 2024A Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge live on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and 2022A Contenders champion Justin Robichaud next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problems, our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras for tonight's broadcast brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/whiplashmedia. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And our coverage on ASN tonight also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 71% off a 2-year plan with 3 months free, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed was produced by our very own Alex Sabetti. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And be sure to ring the bell to be notified of our live streams on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, along with our short-form content, courtesy, words are hard, of Jess Rakowski. If you'd like to race in NASA, we will certainly have something for everyone in 2024, nasasimracing.com. Just a reminder that in NASA Rallycross, our format is as follows. We are finishing the open practice for the Supercar class now, which will lead us into a 3-lap single car qualifying that splits the field equally into 5-lap heat races, Joker lap once. The top 2 will transfer to the feature automatically. The winner gets 3 bonus points, and the runner-up gets 2. Rest of our drivers sent to the semifinal round, also 5 laps with 1 joker. The top 2 will transfer to the feature, and the winners will receive a bonus point. This will set the grid for the 10-lap feature race, and you have to take 2 jokers, which is unique to NASA Rallycross during the feature. Coming into tonight's Spanish Grand Prix, the Drivers' Championship looks a little like this. It's going to be Evan McFarland at the top of the time sheets. There might be a trading paints issue with Kieran Lifflander. You might see him with a red banner. He is not in the red banner in car number 20. There's been some glitches with the software, I think, at least on my end. He is 3 points down from Evan McFarland. Matthew Lindy, 3rd overall and 3rd or leading contenders. Francois Martel, not here tonight, the former champion of the series in 2023B. Not sure why the French Canadian isn't here. I hope all is well for you, my friend. Robbie Kirtley, Rakowski, Darnell, Grove, Morton, and Matty Morris, the top 10. And the Constructors Championship here in entering Spain. KES Industries 131, Zeem Setup Shop 66. I'm not sure those points. I think they are correct. Slapex Ford, TD Burrow Subi Squad, No Control, JC Simsport, Fiesta Siesta down the order, down to 10th. And we've got a couple minutes, and I'm gonna, I guess, say this publicly. If we can figure out Chris Wetz getting in here, because Tom Grady was supposed to be in this race, but he cannot run this race due to some work-related things, we will happily have the Texan race. The Manufacturer Championship, not sure if that's right, but I can tell you that Subaru definitely is leading the championship ahead of Ford and Volkswagen. So we're going to actually wait a few minutes here, probably about a minute. We're going to kick it forward to qualifying, just seeing if Chris Wetz would like to join. Normally, of course, only the top 5 transfer, but with Tom Grady not having the the best of luck with work stuff. I'm going to say it, I guess, candid is the right word. Seeing as how he took out Wets, it's only fitting that we're letting Wets run. I guess that's fair to me.
I guess, yeah.
Granted, I call the shots, so I don't want it to come off like I'm a dictator, I promise. But we'll have to wait and see if the Texan connects. So coming into this race, I'll ask you again. It's half a second from Jakob Rafos to Evan McFarland.
Oh boy. Yeah.
What do you think?
When you asked me what my thoughts were, the first thing I was gonna do was snort and say, well, Jakob Rafos is sitting like half a second faster than Evan McFarland, which is jarring. It's very jarring. A 39.2. It's otherworldly. It's otherworldly, Josh. I am a driver that can get into the low mid 40s. I find that like the very edge of my limit, but those low 40s, even a 39, it's almost impossible. It's alien.
We begin qualifying for the Spanish Grand Prix, and of course I'll bring this up when we get closer. But who is going to join the list of names in the winners column for the Spanish Grand Prix? We've got Caleb Paul in 2014A, Cody Erdmann in 16A, myself in 2017A, Joey Bailey in 19B. Of course, those were all in NASCAR 2003. But on iRacing here in Barcelona, we've got Sindre Silva, Christian Lindo, Jakob Rafos in 2022A, 22B for Carson McKenna, his only win in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. Francois Martel in 23B, 23C, Evan McFarland. Qualifying begins. Darnell's the first car on track in the 029, ahead of J-Bob, as he's called, Jakob Rafos in the 13. And who can bet against the Pro World Championship driver with a 10,000 dirt road I rating? We talked him up last week. I just wish that this begins the momentum of all of those classes of drivers coming back, Justin Robichaud.
I do. I would love to see them come back, and Jakob Rafos being here.
He's given up his first lap.
He has. He didn't like something about it. He's going to dive off into the Joker.
First lap set.
And try this again.
42-1, it's Darnell. Lindy begins his run.
Yeah.
Rafos begins his second lap. Rakowski begins her first lap. It wasn't a lap that counted, but it was 45.362 for Rafos. Karen Lifflander crosses the line. He's going to begin his first lap in the 20. Did Rafos abort this lap too?
He did. He didn't get that flow. We talked about it. I actually noticed what he got wrong. He didn't get the flow on that 90-degree left after turn 2 for turn 3 and 4. And we talked about it already tonight, how you don't get that right. It ruins
Matty
the
Morris,
rest of the lap.
41.9.
Wow.
41.9 for the man from Illinois.
Here we go.
Liftlander into the fence. He has to abort. This is fascinating. This is great. We're watching these kids push so hard in order to abort these laps. Lindy, 41.6.
That's Rakowski with a 40.9.
Rafos has one last shot to get this right. If I'm Jacob, and granted, I'm nowhere close to this kid in pace, why not take the slower lap? Going for a perfect lap, but do you have to make sure you have a perfect lap against Lifflander and McFarland? Into turn 1, off camber, over the curb. Does he cut the tires? Nearly.
He has to
through
take
the dirt.
This lap, though. I know he entered and kind of went through the flow about the same way as last time. I know he's not overly happy with this one, but we'll see where he rounds it out. There's no other laps, Josh. He can't just delete this one and go again. This is the final one.
McFarland begins his run. Darnell, 41.3. Kirtley, 41.4. Lindy and then Morris. Rafos around the final corner. Former race winner here crosses the line. 39.9. Wow. Where's Lifflander? Lifflander's aborted this lap. The kid from South Carolina.
Yeah, he's gonna go. He's another driver on their last absolute lap. As McFarland.
Evan McFarland, defending champion, car number 1, the kid from California. Final couple of corners, 2 wheeling it through the final corner, crosses the line. 40.003 on his first flying lap. It is half a tenth in it for the pole.
Oh boy. So let's see if he's got anything else here in the tank as he jumps out for another one. Lifflander on looks like his final lap here, and another one he has to take, Josh. So this one, as he crosses the line, it's going to be a final time here for Lifflander. We'll see where he jumps in.
Lifflander's over the jump on his final lap. McFarland's behind him, coming at his white flag lap. Lindy crosses the line, 40.7. Lifflander across the line. 40.2. Where's McFarlane? He aborted his second lap, took to the Joker. This is it for the defending champion. In car number 1, Evan McFarlane from California. Justin Robichaud, take us along.
Oh boy, so Evan McFarlane, I need to get back up on here. Lost my cameras. This is that flowy section we were talking about. Whoa, he nails it perfectly, Josh. High up on the right side, nails that curve, gets the left-hand transition. Fantastic. Oh, he's really close to the tires here as well. Maybe not the smoothest exit. Has to really fight that car to get it back and over-rotated, but he's really tight to the bumpers here. Use that bumper to rotate the car and get a nice clean line close to the wall here. And try to straight shoot this as much as you can, get enough speed over the jump. Sling it right, slide in, and then dive down in for basically a hairpin turn. You kind of treat this one like
final corner across the line, 40.043. It is pole position for Jacob Rafos in car number 13 for heat number 1.
Oh boy, yeah, just not quite quicker than his old lap, but very, very close. A picture of consistency, but you have to wonder if that's all he has left in the tank for this track, Josh.
It's we have 8 cars, maybe make it 9 if Wets can make it in, and I say it every single week. My introduction to it doesn't matter how many cars you have for a race was two cars. Wets has joined. You had 2 cars in the Prototype 1 class at Road America in American Le Mans in 2012. Why are you going off of that tangent? I say that because it was a photo finish after 4 hours of racing. Granted, it's not 4 hours of racing here, but it doesn't matter, Justin. If you have 2 cars, 8 cars, 35 cars, you don't. It doesn't matter to have a good race.
No, it's a lot of fun, and the way the heat system works in Rallycross and setting those grids for that final, you get a lot of action-packed racing throughout the night. It just gets more exciting as it goes, really. And where these divisions are split, and you have a lower class and a higher class, it literally gets better throughout the night. And from one session to the next, you see the elevation in the performances from the drivers and the elevation in the competition. As Chris Wets, I don't know if he'll have a time to get a lap in, but he is connected into the session. I think he's just going to come along for the ride. And hey, who knows? That final position.
On track.
Oh, there he goes. He jumps on. He's going to try.
He will definitely get a lap. Maybe make it 2 in the 71. So,
he's got time.
Quick programming notes before Wets begins his run. OSRL GT Series, Words Are Hard. Round 6, Road Atlanta. This Thursday, April 11th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Bryan, Sawyer, Cody Erdmann, Justin Robichaud for that. NASA Rallycross Lights from Atlanta Short, the Hampton Grand Prix, next Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Victor Valley, James Watson, and I think Jared Lott. Might be Cody Erdmann there. There's been some movement. Or yourself, Justin Robichaud. I want to say thank you publicly to the entire ASN team for being flexible on that one. And our next round for the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, also at Atlanta Short, next Monday, the 15th of April, 8 p.m. Eastern, starting with Contenders and moving up to Supercars. Bryan Sawyer in the production truck. Justin Robichaud next to me. My name is Josh Mertz for that one. Chris Wets on track in the 71, and he hits the wall. This lap will be aborted. He's going to have 1 lap left. If he can, well, mate, I don't know.
Maybe.
He has to get back to the start-finish line before... No, he has to finish his lap before 8 minutes, so I think that was the only shot he has, Justin.
Yeah, I think you're right here, Josh. He's going to try anyways, and we'll let him have it. We'll see if the sim hands out a little cookie for him, but he over-rotates, cooks the tires.
It's over.
He's done. Yeah, he'll park it, and that's fine. We'll... he's persistent. He's persistent. I admire it. Those rears are awful hot, though. They're awful toasty.
Chris Wets, the man who has raced in 1 race in all 30 seasons of the NASA Rallycross Challenge, dating back to 2012. And that will be the end of qualifying for the Spanish Grand Prix. It's going to be Jacob Rafos, Kieran Lifflander, Jess Rakowski, Josh Darnell, and Chris Wets in this first heat race. And Rafos versus Lifflander, round number 2. I can't wait until not only obviously this heat race, but the feature. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. And Jess Rakowski in here too. Let's not forget. You'll let you go through the grid here, Josh. Or you did already actually.
Rafos, Lifflander, Rakowski, Darnell, and Wets.
And actually, we got Darnell in there as well. So this is a stacked field. This should give us some great racing here, Josh.
Question is, can Lifflander hang with Rafos? We saw it happen last week. I think it might happen. Sparks are going to fly in Heat 1 in Barcelona.
Look how quick he is.
Car squat. Rafos, maybe a little jump. Green flag off the line. Great start compared to Lifflander. Half a car length pulled. Nearly contact between them down to the first corner. Rakowski nudges Lifflander. Rafos trying to pull away. It's 2 car lengths, maybe make it 3. Into the dirt for the first time. It's Rafos leading Liftlander, leading Rakowski, leading Darnell, leading Wetz. Over the jump for the first time to begin the first lap. Remember, no jokers in the first lap here in Barcelona. It's going to be Rafos, Liftlander, Rakowski, Darnell, and Wetz. As Rafos trying to pull away, the gap is a second already between him and Liftlander, Justin.
And Darnell was really checking up and giving it to Jess Rakowski, but a little bit of an issue in the first corner, I guess you could say, or the final corner of the start. Before we start our first lap, we'll kind of fizzle that out a little bit here for the time being, as it's just a straight shoot. So we're really just looking for mistakes or maybe a joker strategy at this point, Josh.
Will we see a joker on the first time of asking from Rafos, from Liftlander? Will we see some movement in the semifinal pole position, I like to call it, the third spot with Rakowski? No joker for the top 2. Rakowski does not. Darnell does. Rafos leads at the end of the first lap. And Wetz jokers as well in the 71. Two-wheeling it in the Ford Fiesta is the man from Texas.
Absolutely, and a little bit loose on the exit there. Didn't get a great entry, so you had to check up not to hit the tires, and that kind of affected the exit speed, if you will, as Liftlander's really just hanging on to Rafos here, but that gap, that ever so fast 39-second lap time, Josh, really playing into factor here, the speed. And he's showing it, putting it on display here at the moment. It's great for Rafos, Josh.
Will we see a joker now from Rafos? No, Liftlander does. Has to do something different. Lap times begin to roll in. 41.2 for Rafos.
Meet up with
across
Jess
the
here.
line. Liftlander takes the spot. 44.6. Rakowski. Obviously no joker to the inside. Over the curve. Slides it in the 999. Trying to hang with Liftlander. And just like earlier in the Contenders race, just a little bit impatient, I think.
Just a smidge. She tried to go for a move there. There was really nothing, in my opinion, but in the fervor, a little bit overzealous, locks the tires up. Honestly, though, let's credit the save. That was quite nice. No slowdown to really pull in and keeps it on the track and lives to fight another day in third here, Josh.
Rafos will not respond to Liftlander this time around. 2 laps to go for the Norwegian in car number 13.
This is around entering the joker. She actually, well, if she wanted the joker, I didn't catch it. She has to now.
Exits the joker ahead of Wetz.
She does, but loses that position to Joshua Darnell. Josh,
as Jacob Rafos tied with Tanner Smith for 15th on the wins list in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. He wins tonight. It'll tie him with Josh Clogg, Dylan Smith, and Evan McFarland. Of course, we've got a long way to go there, but we're coming to the white flag. In heat number 1, still no joker for Rafos. Why would you take the joker when you're this far away? He takes the joker now. Liftlander will go over the jump. There's going to be no contest here, Justin. White flag for Rafos.
Not even close, and he takes it basically at the meta, if you will. The second to last lap, he's going to get that excellent swing. This should be his quickest lap of the night. He'll probably, I think he might bring the purple ticker up. Josh, what do you think?
As let's take a look. Rafos, Liftlander waiting for the fastest lap from Rafos on the last lap.
Liftlander owns it at the moment, but but Liftlander has that joker lap in his pocket, so he does have that lap with a few extra tenths. So we'll see what happens here.
I'll say it publicly. You said purple ticker. I got really confused, but then it clicked.
The fast timer, yeah, the fast
final
lap
corner.
timer,
Pole position for the Spanish Grand Prix. Jacob Rafos crosses the line. 40.297. Liftlander crosses the line. Rafos does get the fastest lap. Liftlander transfers, and Josh Darnell will be best of the rest. Pole position for the semifinal in the 029 ahead of Rakowski and Chris Wetz.
A great position to be in. Josh is going to get that inside line in the semifinal. That's where you'll want to be if you have to go there. So watch for Josh Darnell on the inside there tonight. Ooh.
So Kieran got the fast lap after I called that Rafos got the fast lap. So welcome to NASA Rallycross.
He snuck it away there.
Grid 4, heat number 2. Evan McFarland, Matthew Lindy, Robbie Kirtley, and Matty Morris. So the 2 points leaders of NASA Rallycross Supercars, Contenders and Supercars proper on the front row of the grid, and it's the KES teammates in car number 1 and car number 3. As we wait for Kirtley and Morris, but I don't know if Kirtley is going to come back into the session. He fell out, had a connection issue, so hopefully Matty Morris is on track. So this might be a duel between the teammates for this one.
It could be. 2 teammates who are very quick indeed. So Robbie Kirtley out of this session will roll it up.
Green flag, off the line. McFarland pulls his teammate down to the first corner, and Morris, I think, hang with these boys. You're going to learn some stuff over the next 5 laps as McFarland leads ahead of Matthew Lindy. Lindy was pointed to the left over the curb. That is bananas in car number 3.
Wow.
Got the car to rotate and made the corner.
Wow. You really can use that blue sausage curb to send the car off if you bounce the rubber of the tire off it just the right way. I think I've been watching Lindy. He does utilize it. A little bit loose on the exit there, as he does bleed a little bit of time to Morris. Morris hanging on here, Josh.
This is going to be a great practice session for Matty Morris in the 24. What a benefit for him to be able to be behind the 2 points leaders in the supercar classes and try and gain the track time as McFarland trying to pull away.
Really unfettered seat time. He's going to have really no one to battle or no one to get in his way in a track that's notorious for people getting in your way and being tight. So yeah, lots of opportunities here. He's a little bit shaky in the flowy section that we mentioned, the second, third section, or the first, third section of the track, if you will. Around the final couple corners here again. Obviously a little bit more of a fizzled out race than what we're used to with one driver dropping out, but Matthew Morris dropping back to the field just a little bit here. Evan McFarland leads his teammate.
McFarland ahead of Lindy. Bit of a coffee chat for heat number 2 here in Barcelona, but I'll as we ride on board McFarland in car number 1, let's take a minute and enjoy the sights and sounds here of this Subaru here in Barcelona. So I'll break us out of this onboard. Good to know that Robbie Kirtley's back in the session. Obviously, I don't think he'll be on track for this heat race, but we at least get the man from Virginia back for the semifinal. 2 laps to go for Evan McFarland. Last lap was a 41.3. Last lap that he just did was a 41.8. Lindy 42.2, so a couple tenths down on his teammate. As Kirtley, like I said, actually he is on track. And I shouldn't disparage Kirtley and say that he shouldn't get on track. You have to use every single second when you are in a session as track time. So good for him, as long as he can get that car fired.
Absolutely, and really just realizing that this could be a good little practice session if he can file himself in nicely and get a couple laps in, or even just a warm up for the next session where he'll inevitably have to fight from behind. So no, good for him. That's what I'd probably be doing as well, just to get a feel for the track. It's pretty important at a track like Barcelona, in my opinion.
So McFarland will joker on the last lap. Obviously, like we mentioned, a little bit of a muted heat race, given that Kirtley had some issues. So McFarland's going to joker on the last lap. Lindy's strategy's done. Morris jokered on lap number 2, and Kirtley has not left the staging area in the 024. The real show, and not to disparage our drivers in the heat races, of course, but the real show is going to be in a couple minutes when we get ready for the Spanish Grand Prix, because those 3 kids at the front of the grid are going to be scintillating. Jokering is McFarland on the last time of asking. He'll come off the final corner, win heat number 2, uncontested ahead of his teammate Matthew Lindy to the semifinal, Morris and Kirtley.
This is going to be a great little semifinal. I believe we're going to get Joshua Darnell to take the lead here. I don't know who else we have. I'll have to take a peek once the session transfers over, but that inside line, it's been pretty pivotal all night. If you can get a great launch, even if you can get a great launch from the back, get yourself in a good position in that inside line, and obviously not get taken out in the quarter panel. That left rear quarter panel has been a target all night long in turn 1. We'll see if it is an issue here.
Grid for the semifinal here in Spain. It's Josh Darnell, Matty Morris, Jess Rakowski, Robbie Kirtley, and Chris Wetz. 5 laps, 1 joker. The top 2 will transfer to join McFarland, Lifflander, and Rafos in that race. Getting ready for the semifinal in Barcelona. Green flag off the line. What a start in the first phase from Matty Morris. Down to the first corner. Darnell deep on the brakes. Rakowski looks to the inside. Nearly contact between the two Maryland drivers. Darnell leads. Ahead of Morris. Ahead of Rakowski. Pointed to the left. Getting the car to rotate on the outside as the 999. Can't get the car to grip in the dirt. And she's gonna lose the spot, sorry, to Morris in the 24. Kirtley and Wetz, 4th and 5th. To begin the first lap, it's Darnell ahead of Morris, ahead of Rakowski, ahead of Kirtley and Wetz. And will we see Matty Morris potentially get in the way of these two, or will he hold his own in the 24, Justin?
At the moment, it looks like Jess is maybe a little bit rattled from that start, but yeah, just didn't get the weight transfer quite right. Lost a lot of grip in that right-hand sweeper. Gave a ton of time up to Morris. We'll see if she can hold on here. Good little surge through hairpin, but loses it on the exit, having to check up to Morris, who's not slow, but he's not quite, he's almost in a battle with Darnell. It's another situation you don't want to get into hairpin too hot. Going to start to smack quarter panels, Josh, and that's when you rotate drivers. Not a fun situation to be in here at
Very wide was Darnell entering the final corner. Jokering as Rakowski, jokering as Kirtley, jokering as Wetz on the first time of asking. Darnell leads Morris as the running order does not change. Rakowski now chasing down Morris and Darnell. And this, when we talk about on my old man tangents about jokering on the first lap of the race with smaller grids like this is why it's so crucial. Rakowski catbird seat. She sees the cars in front of her. Her slow lap is done. You focus on the task at hand, and you could catch up to the cars that are ahead of you. Then they have to joker, depending on what you've done in the laps surrounding that. Might find yourself in the lead. It's happened to me once or twice over the last 12 years. Darnell jokers in the 029, eliminating a strategy, clip the curb, rotates into the wall, is the 029. He's going to lose the spot to Rakowski. He's going to have the run off the joker. He does not lose it.
Oh,
this is a battle now.
Keep it. This is going to be a battle now. Jess Rakowski, a little bit of a mistake herself in that final couple corners, but now this is certainly
Darnell very wide in turn 1, messed up the flow. I'd imagine you get a pinch off line there. Rakowski.
Yes. Looking to the inside. Door's very narrow from Darnell. A little bit of a nudge.
Darnell's gonna close the door. They make contact for second. It's the net race lead, and around Darnell goes.
Oh boy, it kind of looked like he just drove off. I think he closed that gap a little bit too early, Josh. That's just two drivers side by side. A little bit more.
Rakowski to the lead. Tough. Morris takes the lead on the rotation. Another 2 laps to go. Way off the track in the 024.
Speed. He comes a little bit too hot. I think you needed to bleed some speed to make that corner, and you can't really hit it at full speed if you don't hit it at the right angle.
On today's episode of Where the Golden Horseshoe Is with Robbie Kirtley, remember last season or 2 seasons ago where he made it into numerous different features? Yeah, he's right here in the 024. The man from Virginia did not qualify, had the issues in that car. He might be able to sneak his way into a feature race here in Barcelona. We're coming to the white flag. It's Rakowski leading Morris, leading Kirtley, Wetz, and Darnell. Do you say that's the contact with Morris around into the tires is the man from Illinois, and that'll put Kirtley, what did I say, into a transfer spot. White flag for Rakowski.
Wow, Jess has to check up really hard. I don't think she liked the way she was landing in that Subaru headed towards the tire barrier there. Has to check up to get that car going straight, but yeah, Matthew Morris was not expecting that whatsoever. Didn't get the car stopped in time, and this is, we talked about it. We just talked about it. I think we just commentators, I don't know, would you say we hexed or cured Kirtley? He's sitting in a transfer spot now and actually giving it a little bit to Jess Rakowski on the final lap.
So the Golden Horseshoe is stuck somewhere in that car because it's, again, another race where Kirtley's going to sneak his way into a feature. Final couple of corners for Jess Rakowski. The door got closed on her, and she had her foot in the door. She will win the semifinal. Kirtley transfers. Best of the rest is Wetz, Darnell, and Morris.
Barely transfers. Robbie Kirtley almost went the wrong direction. He was about to take an early exit from this course in the final corner, but managed to keep that under control. And wow, what an unbelievable race that was. We'll have to see what the stewards say at the end of this one about that incident. But to me, up here, looked like we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. That was a door that was closed a bit hard. But we'll take a look as we.
Qualifying is over for the Spanish Grand Prix. We're going to take one last break, and on the other side, we will go racing in Barcelona.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds
by
it.
side between these two and Turmoil. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clog at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. Over in the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up and into the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Robbie's going to hold his spot. We're coming back. Okay. We welcome you back to round 260 of the championship overall and round 4 of the 30th season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge here in Spain. With Bryan, Sawyer in the production truck and 2022A Contenders champion Justin Robichaud next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras for tonight's broadcast are brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/whiplashmedia. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support all season. Coverage on ASN tonight also brought to you by NordVPN. For 71% off a 2-year plan with 3 months free, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World Feed, produced by our very own Alex Abetti. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified of our live streams on Sunday, Monday, and Thursdays, along with our short-form content courtesy of Jess Rakowski. If you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everyone here finally in 2024. All the info is at nasasimracing.com. Justin Robichaud, I said off the air, it has been 100 races since I stepped out of this supercar. Old man tangent again, I'm sorry, put me back in the nursing home. Over the last 4 years and 100 races that I've been able to dedicate to this, I have seen incredible racing. I know you and Bryan are relatively new, kind of probably half of those years, half of those race amounts. So some exciting stuff that we've had in the past, of course, and super excited for the future here in NASA.
Absolutely, literally future with our future series, no less. The one that I think is going to bring in a lot of drivers and tailor to a lot of people's needs. It's a very entry-level car. Very fun to drive. I think it's going to be a shining star in this entire league, and it may not get the love on broadcast. We'll try our best to get some things moved up there, but it's still certainly bound to bring a lot of action. And that car is super fun to race and very easy to pick up. So come on in and race with us.
NASASimRacing.com, of course, for that. NASA Rallycross Futures announced late last week. The latest addition to the NASA Rallycross Challenge, the overarching NASA Rallycross Challenge. We, of course, have the Supercars that we are watching now. We have Contenders that took place a little bit earlier on. We had NASA Rallycross Lights yesterday. We're adding Futures, fixed setup, Volkswagen Beetle on Friday nights, and you'll have that feature race hopefully broadcasted in between the Monday shows here on ASN. And anyone and everyone, welcome back to NASA Sim Racing here in 2024. So, we're going to take a quick look at the actually I was going to say points. We're not going to worry about points. Apologies for that. So we will go over programming notes one last time before we get rolling here. OSRL GT Series in Road Atlanta this Thursday, April 11th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have Bryan, Sawyer in the production truck, Cody Erdmann, and Justin Robichaud. And I've said this 9 times already this show, and I say this every single time, but you guys have done an incredible job in my absence, and hopefully I get to join you guys next week in Le Mans. That's going to be fun as well. NASA Rallycross Lights, Round 5 in Atlanta for the Hampton Grand Prix, April 14th. That's next Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Victor Valley, James Watson, and hopefully Jared Lott. If not Cody Erdmann, if not Justin Robichaud. Thank you to the ASN crew for the flexibility on the commentary teams there. And our next round for the Overwatch Specialty Service, NASA Rallycross Challenge. We also had the U.S. portion of the series in Hampton, Georgia at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, April 15th. Tax Day, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Bryan, Sawyer, Justin Robichaud, myself, Josh Mertz. For that one, we got about 1 minute and 10 until we begin to grid. Give me a prediction. Rafos? Or something different?
Yeah, I mean, Rafos barring an issue. So, like, turn 1, it's been not a problem tonight, but a lot of door banging in the quarter panels. That inside line, the outside line, sorry, especially has been very vulnerable to that. If you're coming out and you have someone on your inside, closing the door early, even in that sector or anywhere else on the track, has been a problem tonight as well. So, you know, it can really, there are a lot of them out on the track for this feature. I mean, it's a smaller race than what we've been seeing in the past, but still lots of drivers out there on the track that isn't incredibly conducive to it. So they'll need tons of focus, maybe a little bit of grace, and a lot of determination to get through here tonight here in Spain.
We take a look back, like we mentioned earlier on. Who will join the list of names that won the Spanish Grand Prix. 2014A, Caleb Paul. 2016A, Cody Erdmann. 2017A, myself, Josh Mertz. 2019B, Joey Bailey. Of course, all of those on NASCAR Racing 2003. Old Man Tangent, still salty at 2019B. I lost by half a car length. Feel free to go back on ASN On Demand, watch that one. 2021B, Sindre Silva. 2021C, Christian Rufos Lindo. 2022A, his cousin, Jakob Rufos, won here. 2022B, Carson McKenna. 2023B, Francois Martel. And last season, Evan McFarlane in 2023C on his way to his championship. 2 race winners in this field, Rufos and McFarlane, as we begin to grid for the Spanish Grand Prix. Rufos on pole position, then it's Evan McFarlane the outside pole. Second row of the grid is Kieran Lifflander, Matthew Lindy, the Contenders points leader, Jess Rakowski, and Robbie Kirtley with the golden horseshoe somewhere that we cannot announce on a live stream, making it in after missing qualifying. It's been a blast all evening long in Contenders and Supercars as we just wait for Rufos and McFarlane and Lifflander round 2 as we get ready in Barcelona.
Just waiting on Evan McFarlane, and there he is as we light him up and squat those cars.
Green flag. What a start from Rufos off the line in the 13. McFarlane in second, deep on the brakes is Rakowski. Nearly into Lifflander. Lifflander in traffic now, trying to get away from Rakowski in the 999. It's Lindy and Kirtley through the dirt for the first time. Remember, no jokers off the start. Lindy looks to the inside. It's a door-banging duel between these two from Contenders, and Lindy into the fence. Rufos leads. McFarlane second. Lifflander third. Rakowski in fourth off the podium right now as we begin the first lap. Then it's Lindy and Kirtley, Justin.
Oh, wow, and Jess Rakowski went side by side with Lindy there. A little bit of a nudge, but kept it respectful in my opinion. They're just holding positions. Nothing wrong with that. Lindy, the unbeknownst worst benefactor to that little brawl. A little bit of throwing some
into the tires is the kid from California. Ouch. Around he goes. He saved it, but he's going to be out back in 6th.
This is not a driver, Jacob Rufos, you want to be making a mistake behind whatsoever if you want a shot at winning it. Lifflander still right there. These three are way and away. Just putting on a clinic for us tonight, Josh.
No joker for the top 3.
Ooh, Lifflander thought about it.
Lifflander did. I was going to bring that up. I'm glad you did. He angled and changed his mind.
Yeah, and Rakowski the same thing, but I think she was just a little bit loose on the exit there. That the car does grip up as you're sideways off that jump, and you make that transition from dirt to asphalt, something you need to be prepared for. It can be a killer here tonight.
This dirt to asphalt here in this hairpin, and then in that final couple of corners, it definitely grips the car. In the light when I was driving yesterday, I am full left lock to slide through the corner, and you have to time it to where if you're left lock, when you hit that asphalt, you're going left. You have to know how to manage that grip. Rufos does not joker. McFarlane, Lifflander, no jokers for the top 3 yet. Lifflander sneaks to the inside on McFarlane, can't make it happen. Rakowski jokers, Lindy does not. Fastest lap is Rufos. It's a 41.489. He was a second faster than McFarlane that last lap. Lifflander was 0.5 down.
As we jump on board here with
and Lindy
Lifflander
battling. Sorry to interrupt. I know we're on board.
You're good. This is spicier.
I'm looking at the battle for fourth.
Lindy. Lindy's giving it to Jess Rakowski there. Another little nudge as we enter hairpin.
We also have Lifflander faster than the defending champion McFarlane. He was up by 0.4 the last time around. I think he has something for Rufos, but he's letting Jacob run and hide in the 13. No joker. No joker. Lifflander finally does something different. He's got the delta over Rakowski and Lindy. Rakowski's got 1 joker left. Lindy has not jokered, I don't believe. Lindy looks to the inside of Rakowski. Now Lifflander's got the clear track to try and gain on McFarlane and Rufos. McFarlane, while he's down, that's only a 10th down the last lap. He's keeping Rufos honest here, Justin.
He is, absolutely, but we're still just glued to this battle here. Lindy, we're just waiting for a mistake. Jess Rakowski gets a little over-rotated, loses a bit of grip. There's always an opportunity in hairpin. He's looking for it. Jess is very, very conservative, but also a great line. Doesn't give Lindy much there. Into this sweeping right-hander, so tricky. But Lindy caught up here in the first lap. Doesn't want to do it again, Josh, but needs to make a move happen here soon. He's running at a time. We're at the halfway point here.
I would joker now. I'm not sure why you're
get out of there.
I don't know why you're stuck behind Rakowski. Fastest lap for Lifflander, 41.0. The kid from South Carolina is fastest of all. He's 0.6 up on Rufos this last lap.
Wow, unbelievable.
Rufos has not taken a joker.
Oh, he hasn't. Yeah. And
No
Liftlander
jokers for the
gets
top two.
that boost on the top lap because he did get the joker. So a little bit of a run there. Rafos not jokering yet. He has that the little bit of a handicap with a slower lap time because of that. But we'll see that change when the joker strategy starts to fall in, as both the top two don't yet. Liftlander doesn't.
Lindy hard into the wall in the 3, and that's going to end it for the Contenders points leader.
It is, and he jumps out of the way of Robbie Kirtley just in time as he flies by and parks it for the rest of the night. Ouch, not a great result for Lindy, and can't be happy with that performance at all.
Kirtley's strategy's done. Rakowski's strategy's done. This is going to be for best of the rest off the podium between the 999 and the 024. Not missing anything up front. Still no joker for the top two, Jacob Rafos and Evan McFarlane. Liftlander has one left in the 20. Coming to 4 laps to go. I don't suspect we're going to see any movement for the top two here. Liftlander might be able to get McFarlane. Maybe.
Oh, maybe. And Kirtley is making a small charge on Rakowski, but Rakowski's been pretty good the last few laps and holding Kirtley off quite nicely. Kirtley getting a little bit of trouble out of his Fiesta now, getting this thing rotated, but barring honestly a very rare mistake from Rafos, I think he's going to take this one no problem with McFarlane in second. And Liftlander still just kind of comfortably in third at the moment. Lost a lot of time to McFarlane that last lap.
We're out on board Rafos in the 13, and we talk about every single week. It's my favorite phrase. Anything can happen in NASCAR Rallycross because it usually does. Rafos jokers in the 13. McFarlane does not. We're going to see a rotation. Will McFarlane do a block pass on the 13? Rafos knows he has the pace, gives him a little bump draft down the straightaway to turn 1. And now, I'd say Kieran's in a pretty good spot because if McFarlane continues maybe to hold him up, or they come together, we talk about it. Anything happening? Over the last 12 years, it certainly has. Rafos looks to the inside. Can he get the pass done? Side by side. McFarlane holds it. Defending champion. Rafos surges ahead. Can McFarlane take the inside line? No, he cannot. Rafos to the lead. And that is without a joker lap for McFarlane.
That was a pass on the track from Jacob Rafos. And a great little run there from McFarlane, but he dives off into the joker as suspected and clears Liftlander, no problem.
2 to go for Jacob Rafos in car number 13. Like I mentioned earlier on, he's currently tied for 15th on the wins list with Tanner Smith back in the field. Rakowski versus Kirtley. Kirtley looks to the inside, nudges the 999 of Rakowski, lets her have it.
Yeah, and he's on the chat immediately apologizing for that little nudge, so gives it right back. He wants to make this one fair and on the track. Rafos noticed a little bit earlier in that hard left-hander, he smacked the wall just a little bit, Josh. So mistakes are not impossible for the Norwegian. So
jokering,
easily.
White flag for Rafos. He took his second joker. Liftlander's going to have one left, but I don't think he'll have the delta over McFarlane.
No, won't.
Much quieter than last week in Brands Hatch for Jacob Rafos in car number 13. Like I said, tied with Tanner Smith for 15th on the wins list. It has been quite some time since the Pro World Championship level driver was in a NASA Rallycross race. His last victory technically would have been 2022B Brands Hatch. He got disqualified for track limits. And the young Norwegian, the youngest winner in NASA Rallycross at age 13, will not be disqualified tonight. Final corner on return. Rafos wins in Barcelona, Spain. It's going to be the defending champion McFarlane edging out Liftlander, who will come home in third. And best of the rest, unless something goes wrong in the last couple of corners, Jess Rakowski is going to come home in fourth. What a recovery for her after the shenanigans earlier on. Robbie Kirtley in fifth and Matthew Lindy in sixth after that accident over the jump.
Wicked little race there. And Jacob Rafos really putting on an absolute clinic here at Barcelona. And all these drivers really having a great time, and other than Matthew Lindy, who just had a little bit of trouble, on a great time. Robbie Kirtley running out just a 20 seconds back from our leader, so good little gap. Great racing tonight. Turn 1, always a problem here at Spain, but as the night went on, it seemed like a lot of drivers seemed to get that dialed in. The taps got a little lighter, and we started to shake that down. So overall, fantastic little event.
Let me see if we can pull in our interviews to the media pen, and we'll have a chat with a couple of these drivers. Kieran Liftlander, Jakob Rafos, everybody's here. So third place man, Kieran Lifflander, Justin Robichaud, all yours.
Kieran, talk me through that race. That was a brawl between you, Evan, and Jacob. Tell me what happened. I'm not even in Discord. Look at me. No, I'm not.
I was
pressing my
not going to
buttons,
warn you
so-
that you weren't in Discord. I thought you would figure it out.
Hey, Kieran, you got us, buddy. You here?
Yes, sir.
Hey, we'll try this again. Talk me through that. It was a great little battle between the top three there. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, on the start, I had a problem with my brake, and I was like spamming it, and obviously that got me hit in the rear by Jess and let Evan in, which was pretty much the game changer. And I tried my hardest to get back to him and thought that Rafos, whenever he took that Joker, it would hold him up, but it didn't. So unlucky there, but pretty good points day. Just got tight in the long run and made several adjustments and talked to the crew chief and whatnot. So, but yeah, really happy with the podium finish, and that's what we were going for today.
Hey, and you nailed it. Great job. That the adjustments through all that, through the adversity at a track like Spain. This is a great result. Who'd you like to thank tonight for this one, Lifflander?
I'd like to thank Zeems. You guys for putting it on, and all the men and women at the shop. Like I said yesterday, to put all the work into building these cars and getting them out here to all these tracks. So yeah, I can't wait to get back at it at Atlanta Short, and hopefully we can get both of them next week.
Before you go, this is going to be a fourth wall break. I know. I love that you like take this completely seriously, like it's real life. I did that for the longest time and everybody made fun of me. I just want to say, I love it. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now. Great run, buddy. And we'll see you next week in Atlanta.
Appreciate you guys. See you next week.
So, second place, man. Once I know how to operate Discord, Evan McFarlane and Justin Robichaud, all yours.
Evan, we were wondering if this was going to be a top three for you for a little while there. The battles seemed to get really intense. You took your Joker out in front of Rafos as well. Talk me through that and talk me through your race.
It was pretty intense. I just tried my best, try to do what I could, because I saw Rafos doing like 39 sixes in practice. So, I mean, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I can get there, but I can just do my best to be consistent. So that's what I tried to do. But, I mean, I think I burnt too much time at the start, worrying about carrying too much. And, I try to take my Joker later than Rafos and just try to hang with him so I could hopefully just like hold him up and make him have to Joker again and get into a battle with Kieran. But I was anticipating a send on me and that little hairpin, but I think I took it a bit wide and made a mistake there. So yeah, it was a good race though. Rafos did a great job.
Yeah, that was a great race it was, really. And yeah, it did leave the door open, I guess you could say. I couldn't believe he was there to just take advantage of it so quick. But a fantastic finish, no less. Some good points on the board, Evan. And who'd you like to thank tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my mom and dad for always supporting me. Of course, my brothers, they're cool, but I always say they're annoying. But yeah, the Lord above, he's always there to keep me strong and keep me determined. So I mean, I think I could have practiced some more. I'm not gonna lie, this week I was a bit lazy and I was doing some other things. But yeah, I just gotta thank KS Industries, Fluid Logic, Martin Sports, True Speed, Malin, OMP, and yeah, that's about it. And also you guys for putting on this amazing broadcast.
Thanks so much, Evan, and we'll see you next week in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Quick tidbit before I pass you off to Justin Robichaud, Jacob Rafos. It has been 48 races in the NASA Rallycross Challenge since you last won. 2022A Indianapolis was the last victory for you. 7th career win. Justin Robichaud, all yours.
Has to feel good tonight at a track like Spain. Jacob, talk me through your race. It seemed like you were just in a world on your own and putting up unbelievable lap times. So tell me how that went tonight.
I mean, it was
we went through the first corners and I was like, yeah, maybe I could keep up with me, but I was like, I should probably pull something on him and drive away or something. And we got that to do. I saw I had pretty good pace in it going into this, and yeah, I mean, when we managed to get the win in a fast lap and we got the whole shot.
Yeah, the whole shot, every single time, it seemed that start was electric in the feature. You were on rails for certain. So fantastic race tonight. Who'd you like to thank, Jacob?
I'd like to give a shout out to Sim Magic, Next Level Racing, Natural Circuit Sim Racing Team, and got Sim Racing Ice. And yeah, that's it.
Fantastic. Well, I hope we see you next week, Jacob, at Atlanta and at Atlanta Short, and we'll see you then. And have a great night.
Great night. Great morning. He's got to go to school in probably an hour.
No kidding.
Yeah,
you're right.
He should go to sleep. Wow. So let's take a look at just a reminder at the results tonight of the Spanish Grand Prix. Of course, Jacob Rafos, our winner, Evan McFarland, Kieran Lifflander, Jess Rakowski, Robbie Kirtley, and Matthew Lindy, the one car to not finish. And let's take a look unofficially at the Drivers' Championship. Exiting the Spanish Grand Prix, Evan McFarland holds the red plate over Kieran Lifflander. Still, it's a 7-point lead now from the California kid to the South Carolina kid, followed by another California kid, Matthew Lindy, in car number 3. Francois Martel not here tonight. Luckily, we have the drop week, so the French-Canadian will not move. The former champion of the series, Robbie Kirtley in P5, Rakowski, Rafos, Darnell, Grove, and Morris, the remaining top 10. In the Constructors' Championship, with KES being the only multi-car team, they are miles ahead of Zine Setup Shop. Slapex Ford by TWRS in third. No Control, TWR Suey Squad down the order there. And the Manufacturers' Championship, Subaru, Ford, and Volkswagen, 109, 61, and 23. So we are making wonderful time. Justin Robichaud, it's about to click off to 2 hours. Let's get some final thoughts, and I'll close this one up.
Oh, this is a fantastic race here, as always. I think at the end of the day, this was a lot cleaner and a lot more respectful than I thought it was going to be. This track has really been bad for turn ones here. The any dive bomb into a hairpin with 5 or 6 plus cars is typically carnage, but it got better as the night went on. I think that was a huge plus. The typical cars retiring from smacking walls or making many mistakes. I know that all too well, but just a beautiful night of racing, Josh. I can't wait for next week.
Couple programming notes before we have some sponsor plugs and close it out tonight. Round 6 of the OSRL GT Series at Road Atlanta, Thursday, April 11th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll have Bryan, Sawyer, Cody Erdmann, and Justin Robichaud for that. It has been awesome to watch on Thursday nights. And good work, gentlemen. I know I've said that now 10 times in one show. NASA Rallycross Lights, Round 5 in Atlanta for the Hampton Grand Prix, 9 p.m. Eastern on April the 14th on Sunday. Victor Valley, James Watson, Cody Erdmann / Jared Lott / Justin Robichaud. It's been scheduling issues or sicknesses or whatever. Thank you again for the flexibility on the broadcast there, team. You'll have a crew. We'll figure it out when we get there in true NASA fashion. And then the next round for the Overwatch Specialty Service, NASA Rallycross Challenge, next Monday, April 15th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, starting with Contenders and going up to Supercars, Bryan, Sawyer, Justin Robichaud, myself, Josh Mertz for that. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problems, our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Don't forget, NASA Rallycross Contenders is presented by the Virtual Gaming Alliance. Don't be a real dork, be a virtual one. Shop now at virtual-alliance.square.site. Thank you, Dylan Thomas, for your support of our second tier category. Cameras for tonight's broadcast brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/whiplashmedia. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And our coverage on ASN tonight also brought to you by NordVPN. For 71% off a 2-year plan with 3 months free, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. And finally, the intro music for the NASA World Feed, produced by our very own Alex Abetti. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified of our live streams on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, along with our short-form content courtesy of Jess Rakowski. If you'd like to race in NASA, we have something for everyone, including the new NASA Rallycross Futures Division, which will debut in July. All the info is at nasasimracing.com, nearing 500 members. Thank you guys ever so much. The checkered flag falls on the evening. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Jess Rakowski, Victor Valley, Jared Lott, Chad Irvine, Philip Kraus, Justin Robichaud, Cody Erdmann, James Watson, and Bryan Sawyer. My name is Josh Mertz, as we hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge tonight from Barcelona. We congratulate our Contender Series winner, Matthew Lindy, on 4 in a row. And Supercars winner, Jacob Rafos. Be sure to join us Thursday for OSRL in Road Atlanta. But until then, so long, everyone.